I think Jesus is a cheat code.
They actually print money out of thin air.
Bitcoin is the only 15-year-old allowed in the country clubs.
It literally is slavery.
This is the second gospel.
All right, guys, I am here with blockchain's most sought after fractional CMO, and more importantly, husband, father, man of God.
Wow.
Gregory Gressick. It's good to be here with you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it, Kyle.
We go back a ways. One of the first people I met when I moved here to Florida, and you've just always been a ray of sunshine, and grateful to know you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, I remember when we met like 3 years ago.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah, man. I felt the exact same way about you. Like, just the most positive person and super kind to people. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yep.
So I love that about you, man. So I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, so ever since I've known you, you've always been like the crypto guy. And, you know, I've been working on this podcast and this brand sovereignty, and really want to not only myself, but help others to live a more free, sovereign life and be in control of what that looks like. And I think even more than ever now, seeing what's happening with crypto, I'm like, it's going to be a big part. Yeah. And so I want to dive into that with you. I mean, to be honest, I know very little about what you actually do, and other than that, you're crushing it. So maybe give us like a 1 minute little background bio. Yeah. Like, what was your entry into crypto like? And when did you know that it was going to be a big thing for you?
Yeah. So I have a ministry background. So I was a pastor for 6 years in Miami.
Me too.
Oh, you as well?
Not in Miami, but I was a pastor for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, different church.
Dude, I didn't even know that. That's crazy. Where at? Where was that?
Arizona.
Wow.
That's how I learned Spanish. It was a Spanish-speaking mission.
Wow. Dang, that's so crazy. I've known you for 3 years. I didn't know that.
2 years, I paid to do it. So 2 years I made no money. It was all service. I actually paid $20,000 to go live for 2 years and teach. Yeah.
Wow.
So the brother in the ministry.
Yeah.
I'm not religious these days, as you know, but that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, well, I'll preface everything I'm going to say with, I think Jesus is a cheat code for a lot of people who cultivate a relationship with him, and not for the reasons where the old saying is, don't seek God's hand, seek his face. God's hand is good, and he gives generously to those who are trying to follow him. And so I think a lot of my success doesn't, and people say it and it's almost cliche, but it's like, oh, you know, glory to God, you know, it's like, no, I really mean it. Like, he has put me where I am. All the opportunities I've gotten over the last 5 years in the blockchain industry have come, I believe, by divine appointment. And he's proven that to me, that it really is him. So I'm super thankful that I have a relationship with God, and a lot of my decision making is bathed in prayer, bathed in wisdom that I've learned in the past being in ministry. I'm sure, you know, being in that situation, you were able to learn a lot of just EQ, you know, emotional awareness.
Absolutely.
And that plays a huge part in being a good salesperson. It plays a good part in
everything. Yeah. That taught me how to talk to talk with people, connect with people. Yeah. And I think view people as like all God's children. Yeah. And you know, when I say I'm not religious, I thank God every night for the life that I have. Yeah. And whether or not he's listening, I don't know, but I am so grateful for the life we get to live. And there's no doubt there is something that's tying us together. Yeah. And so, yeah. It's cool that that's a big part of your brand, your identity, and it's shown to be a great thing. And I would think others would agree that, you know, you have a light that you shine.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. So I think the prefacing, God is definitely a huge part of what I do, and the reason I'm building relationships that I build. But, you know, 5 years ago, left ministry, had no idea what I was going to do. To make a extremely unnecessary long story short, I would say a YouTuber needed a representative to do some sales. And a buddy called me and said, hey, there's an opportunity to represent this crypto guy who loves Bitcoin, and he teaches technical analysis, and I think you'd be a great fit for this little position he has. And I didn't even know. And
it was a sales role.
It was a sales role.
Dude, so sales is a huge door.
Yes.
It's a door opener. If you get good at, if you develop the skill of sales, everyone wants to work with you. Yes. Everybody needs sales. So that was a nice doorway for you.
I think sales is the gateway drug to all business.
100%.
If you can be good at sales in any industry, you can apply that to any opportunity.
Any other industry.
Yeah, any other industry.
If you learn the skill, you can. I was talking to someone about this the other day. We were talking about passion versus chasing money and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you learn the skill of sales, you basically can pick and choose your opportunities. You can be like, I'm a big fitness guy, where you can go sell fitness coaching packages, for example, and change people's lives that way. So.
Yep. So the sales role kind of conditioned me to understand what businesses were selling and why they were selling it. Whether it was a platform, a product, or a service within the crypto industry, I was learning about it. Mm-hmm. And then I was trying to marry that company that I was talking to do some kind of sponsorship with this. Now they're called key opinion leaders. Back then they were called influencers.
KOLs.
I've adopted that name, and I don't represent influencers because I don't represent 19-year-olds in their mom's basement who, have pimples and still don't pay rent. I represent people who are contributing knowledge to a specific industry.
Some of those kids are making serious cash though.
They are.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, they're doing meme coins on pumpfund.com and rugging people. But I don't represent those people. I represent the top tier KOLs, biggest in the world.
Noted.
And it didn't start that way. It started with representing this kid who taught about Bitcoin. And over the course of a year, I monetized the channel for $1 million, and I had met a lot of people in the space. And
so like $1 million like annual revenue, you were able to monetize that channel? Wow.
Well, it was 11 months, $1 million. I was doing around $110,000 a month. And
that's
sales.
That's like all margin, like heavy margin.
Heavy margin. No overhead and YouTube stuff. So when somebody's doing a YouTube, but some of you are like, man, should I start my YouTube channel? The answer is yes.
100%.
Yes, start
That's
it.
That's what we're doing.
It's digital real estate. And some people are like, man, people are so self-absorbed these days, and we're in the I generation. And it's like, listen, back in the day, real estate's always going to be valuable. Back in the day, people were looking at real estate as, the #1 market in the world. And there's no way you can lose over time. And some of that may still be true.
For sure.
Although we just had a storm here. There was 4 feet of water at this house that we're filming at.
Crazy, I know.
And this property value just went down $1 million. So
swoop.
Yeah. But with YouTube and, all of these different social platforms, the digital real estate is it's getting bigger and it's getting more expensive. And if you can capture an audience and a demographic that's truly engaged and interested, you can monetize that. So I was learning that through this little sales job, and over the course did $1 million in 11 months. And in that time, I had met a lot of other KOLs who were unrepresented. And I knew within that 11 months, at some point, I was like, man, this is a business. I said it out loud. I remember I wrote it down on my vision board. I was like, I want to be the #1 KOL agent in the world.
Wow.
For crypto.
Yeah.
There's KOL agents out there for all these Web 2 platforms and people, but for me, it was all about crypto. So that's exactly what I set out to do. And 5 years later, I would say that is exactly what I am.
And now you're representing how many?
I have 160 on my roster.
Wow.
Which 20% of them control probably 90% of the viewership for crypto online.
Wow. Like the whole market. That's huge.
Yeah. So I have about 750 million impressions a month that I control online. And it's all crypto.
You know what's cool about that? So like with a meme coin or these things that people are investing money into, they're really investing into an idea that could capture attention.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so it's the attention economy, really. And you found a cool way to do it where you're actually using labor or your skills to invest into attention.
Correct.
And things that could garner more attention. And then you're even like you're in control of the pump.
Yes.
You're like, I can invest in this guy my time and help him get the attention, and I'm getting a piece of that.
That's actually, I've never heard anybody say it that way, but it's exactly what I'm doing. I am monetizing and garnering attention.
Yep.
And I'm finding a way to do that through the world of tokenization.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool. A big part of what I'm starting to share with people is that you really there's opportunities in every space if you're able to position yourself correctly and connect the dots, right? Because these influencers or KOLs, as we call them, they might do okay without you, but they have a product. They're the product, And people want that product. And if you can put yourself here and help them get that product to more people, you're extremely valuable.
Yes.
And you can do that really in any industry. But I mean, that's what I do. I just do it in different industries.
Yeah.
And so that's super cool. You fit basically the model that I've done and that a lot of people can do to make a lot of money. And also, I would say, have an amazing quality of life, which I would say you do.
Yeah, no, this place was 4 months ago. It was underwater, so
I know.
It's kind of crazy. We're sitting here right now with the whole thing redone.
It looks great. Yeah, it looks awesome, man.
Yeah, we're super happy.
Well, let's chat a little more about crypto. You're obviously investing in crypto as well. You're working with the representatives of in the space, the KOLs. You're also investing in it, correct?
Absolutely.
Are you trading it or just investing?
I think every person who's in crypto specifically should have an investment portfolio and a trading portfolio. And the trading portfolio kind of gets your endorphin fix taken care of. And then the investing portfolio kind of gives you the conviction plays that you know over long term are going to pan out, or hopefully pan out, barring a World War III or some kind of black swan event.
They seem to be more common these days.
It's crazy, dude. We live in a world of so many, we don't know what's going to be in the news the next day.
I know.
So the markets are very I'm seriously just as good as up as down. With the new administration, that announcement pumped the markets.
Yep.
And then it's we're on a verge of
World
War III. Yeah. Talking about Donnie, who actually pretty cool story. I should talk to you about how I met him and talked with his people. But
yeah, maybe we can get into that.
But yeah, the market is so volatile, and the news.
It is volatile, and I think if you're trading, you really got to be on top of it. I mean, you basically have to be chronically online, up to date, on it, making things happen right in the moment. So, what about the average person? They're like, man, I want more sovereignty in my life. I want to be more free.
Yeah.
I want to take control of my situation. What's a good way that they can start? Do they start just investing first, dollar cost averaging in certain cryptocurrencies, and then kind of dabble in the trading? I mean, trading might not be necessary for everybody, right?
Yeah, I don't think
What's your opinion on how someone gets started?
The majority of the people who trade lose their money because you're betting against smart money and the institutions, which have way more money than you. Yeah, they have way more money than you, and they have way more people paying attention to this that are paid to pay attention to this. So don't trade unless you want to be a trader. That's what I would say.
Like you're committed to that as a skill you're going to develop lifelong.
Yes. Yeah, and it's an awesome trade. I mean, we were just having a conversation earlier about some traders that and that I know, and they're doing incredible, but they are the top 1%. The 99 get flushed out.
Yep.
So, but as a value investor, I think the first thing you need to do is, I would even, jump off of this podcast real quick, or maybe just open a tab and look up a handful of KOLs like Altcoin Daily, look up Crypto Lifer. These are smaller guys, but look up the Investing Bros, look up Gary Cardone, some of these guys. They are...
We'll drop those in the comments.
Yeah, they're based.
Yep.
They're based. They're looking at the market through the lens of being a bull and a bear. And they're
when you say based, what do you mean by that? Like they're just looking holistically. They're not just trying to do a pump. They're really long-term players. Explain that a little more.
In most markets that you're trading or investing in, there's two schools of thought. There's technical analysis and there's fundamental analysis. And when you have someone who's straight technicals, it can help for the trades you want to make, but it doesn't necessarily create the understanding of the conviction plays you should have based on the fundamentals. So the fundamentals are the grassroots. What is the ethos and DNA of the project? What utility does it have? What people is it going to serve? And when you can do both of those, and you have a good base of technicals and fundamentals, and you're making decisions based off of both of those, I mean, I think that makes you probably one of the rarest investors on the planet, because most people just see token go up, so they buy, and they're just trying to ride a wave off of momentum. But I think having both of those are super helpful. So
yeah. Okay, so going back a little bit, I was saying, how can the normal person get into crypto? Why should the normal person get into crypto? Even before that question, we should go into that. Why should the normal person get into crypto?
Yeah, I think it goes back to Bitcoin, the granddaddy of all cryptos. And if you ever have read the white paper, you'd see the the beauty and the legacy that Satoshi Nakamoto was leaving behind. And for a lot of people who live in the space, we look at Satoshi as a spiritual figure. He's very much it's more of a way of life, that Satoshi was teaching in the white paper than just a new monetary system.
Is the white paper easy to find?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to link that as well.
Yeah, you could read the white paper for Bitcoin that came out in 2008. And what Satoshi was doing was he wasn't just producing a monetary system that was peer-to-peer and legible because of the blockchain, and also divisible because it was digital, and also moves at the speed of light because the transactions are on, an electronic grid, and it was in demand because there's a limited supply. Those are all the reasons Bitcoin are valuable. But he was creating an understanding of where we're living at in the world today with the financial system. And he was trying to help us understand the brokenness and the enslavement that we're in when it comes to inflation and the printing of money. And he was really trying to help us.
Yeah, I think people are feeling that now. I think it's becoming more apparent that this financial system is crazy.
Yeah.
Something like 40% of all the cash was printed in the past 1-2 years, 3-4 years, something like that. Yeah, I looked at
it's the last eight years.
Still, if you
40% of our entire money supply
in 8 years. I mean, that's crazy, and people are feeling the inflation for sure.
Yeah,
and I think people are starting to ask, wait, the Federal Reserve they actually print money out of thin air.
Yeah,
but then we go work for it.
Yeah,
it literally is slavery.
Yes.
So how does Bitcoin battle that?
Bitcoin is the answer, I believe, to get people out of the system that we're currently in. And the reasons are for what I just said earlier, was the transferability of money still costs a lot of money, right? When banks send money and they wire it, it still costs them so much to do that. When you want to move physical gold, it costs so much to do that. You pay a 40% premium on anything you buy under $500 worth of gold. So money is expensive just to have it. It's expensive to use it. But Bitcoin is extremely cheap and extremely efficient, extremely distributable, and extremely legible. And legibility in that sense is that the blockchain is basically a network, and it's a ledger that's public. A ledger meaning if you have a bank statement that you look at every month, and that is your diary of what you've spent. The blockchain operates in a lot of the same ways. It's just a diary for the world to see what's been bought, what's been sold, what's been transferred. And
right now we don't have that.
We don't.
We don't know. We can't see the central bank.
We don't know where our taxes go.
Yeah, we don't know what our taxes. None of that.
Nothing's tracked.
So the blockchain is basically the record of all these things.
It's a transparent monetary system,
and it can't be altered. So once it's there, it's there. You can see it.
It's kind of canonized. You can write different parts of the Bible and call it a different thing, but you can't call it the Holy Bible. The canonization of Scripture, the blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain is canonized. And Bitcoin can neither be recreated or destroyed, and it's immutable, but it can be lost. That's the only thing.
I've always wondered about that. There's probably so much Bitcoin that's just out there that got flooded in the hurricane and nobody will ever see it again. Yeah. It's sad, breaks your heart a little.
Yeah, I think Mr. Beast knew somebody that I think they had Bitcoin on their laptop.
Yeah.
And I think they bought it at $4. I think they bought a ton of it. And they lost the laptop, and they don't have any access.
It's in the dump.
Yeah, it's in the dump.
So is there any concern about, can anyone mess with Bitcoin? I heard someone say one time that the Fed can print unlimited money. What's to stop the Fed from going and buying all the Bitcoin and then manipulating it? Is there concern there?
Well, if the government's already planning on buying 1 million Bitcoin, and they want to own the same amount in percentage wise as they do as gold and put it on our balance sheet. So they'll own 19% of the supply in the next 10 years. And the bill that Donald Trump is getting ready to sign in the next 60 days will basically do that. If they bought all the Bitcoin, they would be hedging their bets, And I do count on the government's greed to try and buy as many Bitcoin or assets that they think are going to be more expensive in the future. But if that were to happen and there was with the finite supply that it has, I think what you'd have is you'd have crazy OTC deals, over-the-counter deals, where people are selling their Bitcoin at increased prices, only driving the price up. And if they wanted to buy and sell, the government could do that, but there's still too much Bitcoin out there right now for them to be able to rug the price. There's still too much distribution that needs to take place in order for Bitcoin to have, people say Bitcoin go to zero. It really can't.
Right.
It can't go to zero.
At this point, I think it's less speculative, right? I think it's technically still considered a speculative asset.
But it's a risk-on asset.
But now it's becoming more and more widely adopted. I think a lot of people are discouraged. They're like, oh, it's already at 100,000. I missed it. What would you say to that person?
I'd say it's 90% on sale still.
90%. You heard it.
Yeah,
that's
90%. Bitcoin by the end of 2034 should be around $2.2 million.
Wow.
And there's a lot. I mean, I could get into why that is, but I think for people out there who are like, I love the name of your podcast, Sovereignty, right? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Sovereignty. We're on the Sovereignty podcast. I think what we're talking about right now, barring or outside of finding God and living your life, the way that you feel like you need to with God, this is the second gospel. This has the power to give people financial sovereignty that will give them their time back to invest in the things they truly believe in, they want to do with their lives. And maybe some of you out there don't know what to do, but even if you had the money to give yourself the freedom that you think you want, you wouldn't know what to do with the time. And it's why a lot of really rich people are really unsatisfied in life, because they still don't understand what they're here for.
Correct.
I think that's the most important thing. But Bitcoin, I mean, if you were to take, let's say you make $60,000 a year, better yet, make $40,000 a year, and you were to take 10% of your income every single month, and you were to DCA, dollar cost average, that's, you're finding the dips, you're finding the moments when Bitcoin is going down, or you're just making it an IRA plan. You're investing in your retirement through Bitcoin.
Yep.
Every single date, 31st of the month or 30th, you are putting in $400. If you were to do that for 10 years, I think you'd be close to a millionaire. Just by putting it in Bitcoin.
Yeah, there was a period, I'm a little more active now, but I had set my Coinbase account at the time to just automatically invest like $200 a week.
Yeah.
There might've been 500, something like that. And I just forgot about it. And then next thing you know, I've got, with the rise of Bitcoin, I've got like 100 grand in here just from, I didn't really feel that I was missing that money because I automated it.
Yep.
I think a lot of people could benefit by automating their investing.
Yeah.
And then you're also taking away some of the emotion,
Yeah.
I think it's when the dips happen, then you buy more.
Absolutely.
You go hard, but otherwise just let your $200 or $100 a week or $50 a week just go and forget about it. And you learn to live without that money.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge fan of learn how to make more money.
Yeah.
Automate that and then go make more money.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they do that, they're going to have a nice little nest egg of Bitcoin.
And understanding the cycles too. Bitcoin operates on a bull cycle every 4 years because of the halvening event. So Bitcoin becomes more expensive to mine, and mining is just a word for validating transactions. In order for people to be able to buy Bitcoin, send Bitcoin, receive Bitcoin, there's a mathematical equation done by a mine that's an electronic rig that basically solves a problem in order to open up a gate on a block that allows the cryptocurrency to be received. So I know that's kind of confusing.
A little bit.
But there's a system behind cryptocurrency that validates transactions, and mining is that. So every 4 years, it becomes more expensive to mine Bitcoin, which actually creates higher costs in demand. So it's mathematical. Bitcoin was designed to go up over time.
Now, those halving events, what causes those? I mean, is that just built into it that it's going to do that, or what starts a halving event? That's just built into it.
It's built into the blockchain, and it's a
I'm like, if someone in there like, all right, we're gonna have it now. They're like, who's that?
Yeah, it's just the yield that people get when they're mining Bitcoin. The yield that they get back, they get less, right? And the last Bitcoin will be mined in like 2230. So this whole system was actually designed to actually take us into the next 300 years.
Wow.
And it's a real system that if people really study it, they'll start to see that the writing's on the wall. This guy, whoever Satoshi Nakamoto was, some people think it's the CIA. Some people would think it was a real Japanese guy. Who knows?
I've been curious.
Nobody knows. Scottie Pippen knows, apparently.
Does he?
He said it on stage with Michael Saylor. He's like, oh.
That guy.
Like when I met Satoshi Nakamoto in 93, Michael Saylor literally broke his neck. He's like, you didn't meet him? Like,
yeah. Michael Saylor, that dude is all in on Bitcoin. He's got something like 400 million. I don't know.
No,
it was a big number. I was watching his podcast with Ty Lopez, and he's all in.
Oh yeah.
Guys like that though inspire me. I'm like, wow, this guy's betting on this thing forever. Like,
yeah,
I probably should too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into stocks, I think you should be buying MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy it's called the first ever pinwheel in the stock market, and the pinwheel is that he sells MicroStrategy stock after it's gone up and buys Bitcoin, and people buy Bitcoin, so the MicroStrategy stock goes up. And so for every one Bitcoin,
MicroStrategy is his
company.
His company.
And it's basically a Bitcoin company now because all they do is buy Bitcoin.
So if you're investing in MicroStrategy, you're investing in Bitcoin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Basically. And it's so interesting. For every 3 Bitcoin that Michael Saylor buys through MicroStrategy, like he's spending 1 Bitcoin to get 3.
Wow.
And he's just buying.
What about people that are nervous with the whole digital currency thing? I would say I'm in that camp a little bit. Okay, so we all move to this digital currency now, and then the government finds a way to control the platforms that it's being used on or something like that, and then we actually lose freedom. But the move away from cash is like very untraceable.
Yeah.
So technically Bitcoin and crypto is more traceable. So it could be considered maybe more of a surveillance tool.
Absolutely.
What would you say about that?
I think you're spot on. You should be nervous. You should be terrified.
I mean, there's no doubt that you can make an enormous amount of wealth from the transition.
Yeah.
But then the purists, they're like, well, I don't want to be on anyone's chain.
Correct.
I don't want people to see me on the chain.
Yeah. So this is understanding. So in cryptocurrency, you have to understand the differences between a decentralized ecosystem, a decentralized network, and a centralized network. And some cryptocurrencies, they launch on a centralized network, which is controlled.
Would you say most?
I would say most are not truly decentralized, even though aesthetically they communicate that they are.
Right.
This is one of the reasons by the way, not to put this in here as like a shill, but like this is why when I'm one of the biggest believers in Cardano, which is the most decentralized blockchain in the world. Bitcoin is very much up there as well.
As far as decentralization?
Yes.
Okay.
But the fear that people should have over these things is totally warranted and justified.
Yeah.
But you need to be very, very careful about what you're investing in, because the supply could totally be owned by a handful of wallets and they can dump on you. This is why I tell people, like, have fun with memes, but don't put any real money in memes. Find decentralized projects, invest in those long term, and those will become the real ecosystems that thrive.
Yeah, the people in the meme coin space are preying on attention. And a meme coin can only hold attention for so long.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah, call them beanie babies.
Beanie babies, yeah.
They're all beanie babies. They're popular. And warranted, it's a real asset class now. Memes are
Totally.
It's an asset class.
I think it reflects the attention span of our day and age.
So true, man.
The meme coins is like, okay, attention on that. Boom, it blows up and then like we're bored. Next one.
Yeah.
Like it literally is reflecting the attention span of society.
Yeah.
There's not actually that much privacy in crypto. Like that's not necessarily one of its larger, more important functions. Could be.
It is a utility for some cryptocurrencies. That's actually what there was Tornado Cash back in the day. That was a big privacy platform where people could anonymously send their crypto and buy whatever they wanted with it.
Yeah.
Monero.
I've heard of Monero.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the anonymous, being able to make anonymous moves.
Yes.
I think it'd be cool to capitalize on some of the big things that are making the big moves, but also have a way to kind of operate under the radar.
Yeah.
I just don't think everyone needs to know what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think sovereignty is part of being able to fly alone, fly
Correct.
without being seen.
So you mentioned Monero and a couple others. What would be the most private cryptocurrency that we could use?
Compliant or non-compliant? Like some out there are like just super sketchy, and you can do it anonymously. But
so if they're non-compliant, what does that mean?
it means that they don't have the legal framework to actually do what they're doing legally, but they're not really telling anybody that, and they're not big enough to be looked at by any government.
They're truly decentralized. They're truly like off the radar.
They are off the whole damn grid. It's scary actually, because you could be doing arms deals with other countries and stuff like that. But I would say the most compliant platform to date is a project called Houdini Swap. Houdini Swap's awesome. I mean, you can swap any coin to any coin, and the cross-chain compatibility, meaning you could buy any coin and you can swap it into any coin, not having to go through all the buys and sells to get to something. Because some people are like, how do I even buy a meme? It's like, well, you got to jump through like 3 hoops to do that.
Yeah. But I think that's a big deterrent for me. I'm like, man, I got to go on this thing and that thing, and I don't even know.
Is this safe?
I'm like, is this sketchy?
Am I connecting my wallet? Yeah,
I've sent some large sums before where I was like, I might never see this again.
So have I.
Yeah.
So have I. I think that's also I always say Bitcoin is the only 15-year-old allowed in the country clubs.
So going back, the average person who's newer to Bitcoin, you mentioned that like Bitcoin's kind of the starting point. They should just dollar cost average. They should just start buying what they can.
Yeah.
And never sell it, right?
I mean, maybe. Everybody's got, you even said this, you sold some of yours because you were doing a startup.
Yep.
Who am I? Why am I? I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. I mean, listen, I think if something has a crazy run up, you do need to sell. You do. You need to
take
sell
some profits.
Yes. You'd be stupid not to.
Yep.
And I told you, every 4 years, these cycles, they have exponential growth. And then you have 3 years of a bear market. If you're not selling in the bulls, then maybe you have like a 10-year outlook on this thing. And if you do, then great. So
what are some more of the well, I guess for the same topic for a new person, like how can crypto, like let's say they start buying Bitcoin, how will that help them gain more freedom or sovereignty?
I think as our society matures and starts to become more financially literate, I think people, just by the sheer fact of inflation, are becoming more knowledgeable now. Like, why does money become less valuable? Why do I put $100 under my pillow and then I wake up a year later and it's only worth $90? Why is that happening? So people are asking questions. And as people start to mature and start to look for alternative resources, I think owning Bitcoin and not holding it on an exchange, which it's another conversation, but
like Coinbase.
Yeah, I think it's okay to buy your cryptocurrency off of an exchange, but if you're going to be truly sovereign and you're going to experience financial freedom, then you want to hold the keys to your crypto. You want to be the actual owner of your crypto. When you buy crypto on an exchange, the exchange has already bought in that crypto. They actually have ownership of it. You're borrowing it. And it's in your name or in your account at that time. And when you sell it, you're selling it back to them at a higher or lower price. When you take your money and you take your crypto off of an exchange and you put it onto a hard drive, actually put it onto a hard wallet, that's when it actually officially becomes your cryptocurrency. All right? And no one can take it from you. No one can steal it. No one can rip it from your account.
Well, they could steal the hard drive.
They could, but they would have to get the seed phrase.
Right. Okay. So yeah, buy crypto, put it onto a hard wallet, meaning off your computer.
Yep.
That's going to be I like that too, because that makes it harder for you to spend it or use it. You're like, now I got to get it back on here.
Yeah.
And then you forget about it. And then 10 years goes by and it's worth millions and millions.
Well, what you essentially become with a hard wallet is your own bank.
Mm.
And that's in the future. That's, people are talking about like what is going to be the true value in the future, like in like 2050 and 2060. Like what is truly going to be valuable about technology? And what's going to be valuable about technology is the actual data that you have, not the actual hardware that you hold it on. These laptops that we buy that are worth $3,000 and buy these modems and all that stuff. I mean, we're going to be using paper for our hard tops in the future. I mean, paper mache is going to be used, and then we're going to crumple it up. We're going to throw it in the trash. But the data that we have that can be placed on to those screens that are going to be, trash, are really what the value is going to be. So that's what you're doing with crypto is you're actually taking money and you're taking it from the paper form and you're placing it into a secure digital bank that is in your name that only you have the keys to. And I think in the future, that's what banks will look like for a lot of people. They will be the bank. People won't store their money in other...
That's true freedom, right?
It's true freedom.
Because we don't know what the banks are doing. They're printing money. The money's being printed. They're leveraging it like crazy.
Yes.
I mean, we are truly
debtors,
consumers being preyed upon in that whole system. So the more control we can have, which is really what sovereignty is all about, take back control.
Yes.
Crypto is a tool that can help you take control of what is money.
Yes.
And I like crypto too, whether you're just getting into it or you've been into it, it's going to make you question, like, why are we using crypto? Like, what's going on in the system? I think everybody would be wise to like question everything, first of all, but question what is money?
Yeah.
Like that's a whole, if you really dive into that topic, you're going to be surprised and maybe shocked at what money is, how it works.
Yeah.
And you'll see the importance of doing something a little different.
Yeah. It took me getting into this industry to recognize what money is and what the history of money really is. And it's absolutely insane. I mean, I told you, I think it's the second gospel. Jesus mentioned in the New Testament money more than he mentioned sin. And I think he knew it had the power to disciple us and move us and transform us. And I think money is such an amazing tool, and if you actually become literate in some of the stuff that I'm talking about with cryptocurrencies, we'll be looking back on this as old men and be like, remember that podcast we did on like blockchain and like Bitcoin and like, God, we were naive.
It's going to age well, I think, still.
Oh, it's like the stuff that we don't even know. Like,
right.
We really don't even understand it
yet. The things are accelerating so quickly. Like, I'm sure it's going to evolve super fast. I want to talk a little bit about what you just mentioned, like Jesus and money.
Yeah.
I feel like in Christianity in Christianity, sometimes money's looked at like a bad thing. Almost like you should be meek and humble.
Yeah.
But I personally disagree with that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on money as it relates to being a Christian, or is it the root of all evil?
Well, I think money in the hand is not evil, but the heart and how it wants to use it could be evil. So I think it's the heart, the root of it doesn't say the root of money is evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil.
You're right.
Yeah. So the love, the desire.
Yeah. I really don't love money. It is exactly what you just said, a tool that allows me to express myself, do things, be free.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah. I think your access to money expands as like certain things about your character deepen. Right. So I always tell people, like, I always prayed two things. Lord, let the light that shines in me not be, let that be brighter than the light that shines on me. Like, I don't want to be, known if I'm not truly like expressing who I know,
I love that.
And then the other thing is like being blessed beyond what your character can handle is truly a curse. And a lot of people want riches and they want success in terms of money, and they don't have the character to be able to actually steward it in a way where it's going to leave a legacy and impact people for the better.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, to truly be free and sovereign, it really comes down to self-mastery, right? And building that character. And I think you're exactly right. Yeah, if you build the character and you master yourself at these higher levels,
Yeah.
value
Yeah.
or energy, which is money, has no choice but to attract to you.
But I'll say something probably a little not contradicting. In other words, it's a hard lesson. But I think doing anything good apart from Christ is actually self-righteousness.
Mm.
Any good works, anything you think is altruistic, anything that you think is good, only because that deep down inside, when we do something good, there's no way for us to do it and not in some way, shape, or form, even if it's 1% or 0.5%, bring glory to self. There's always some kind of glory in it for us. Even if we would say it with our mouths, I don't think in our hearts we truly realize this, but trying to do good apart from God is a self-righteous act, and it's actually false humility.
Mm.
I mean, that's my personal belief. So
yeah, I would say that everything that everyone does is at some level self-serving, even in the God sphere. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but we're still serving because it makes us feel good.
Mm-hmm.
We're following God. It makes us feel good.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I like what you're saying, because it's actually getting to the root of like,
I don't think it's bad though. Like, I think it's good. I think if we serve self, love ourselves, not necessarily to say, look at me, but yes, we want to enjoy life, and then we can overflow and bless others. And I think, if you have not, you can't share.
Yeah. I think knowing positionally, like, so for me, I personally believe that I am 100% indebted to God. Like I like, and by indebted, I don't mean that I owe him something, because, I need to earn something from him, but I do believe I've been totally forgiven, taken care of, made righteous, not by my own doing, but by what he's already done in the past. Like, I believe Jesus is a real person who died on a cross, who was murdered for my transgressions. And I do believe that because I have chosen to accept his work as my righteousness, now when I make a righteous act or I do something that's truly good and for the glory of God and good of people, I'm not doing it because that's what Christians should do and that's just a normal response, but I'm doing it out of the overflow of what I've received. And I make decisions from that mindset of like, okay, like if it's bad, there's grace covering it. I'm not going to abuse it, but there's grace covering it. If it's good, glory to God. That is the response. And I think that's given me a lot of success. Like, because I don't get trapped in this, like, oh, look at me. Like, look what I've done. Look what I've built.
Yeah. I think I see a lot of very successful Christian people of God, for sure. The problem that I have sometimes is I feel like religion, or let's just say religion, can sometimes, and maybe you don't agree, could be disempowering, where people put all of it onto God and maybe don't do as much as they could do.
That's actually very true.
I see that. I'm like, hey, yeah, God, okay, God will save you, hopefully, right? Like, that's what we want.
Yeah.
But like, are you doing all that you can?
That's a good point. Yeah, people are, I call it like hyper grace or hyper law. People that are so rigid that they're there to cast stones, and they're judgmental, and it's difficult for them to get out of this works-based faith. And then you got people who are like, oh yeah, like I'm a Christian, and it's like, yeah, you're also on OnlyFans, and you're like a borderline prostitute, like online. It's like, well, no, God forgives that. It's like, well, all right, like we're all God's children, we're all forgiven. It's like, well, okay, you can still be someone's child, but like if you break the law and you go to jail, it doesn't, just because God loves you and you're his child doesn't mean you're not in jail, right? So in the same way as you can still be separated.
Yeah.
Truly believe that. You can truly be separated, and it's only because you've chosen to separate yourself. And the humility of God is that when you have a request, like if you don't want God, you don't want that life, I think God honors that request. Just don't be surprised that the separation causes things that are separate from God. Lack of joy, lack of peace, lack of transparency, lack of wisdom. lack of depth, all that stuff.
I think it's important for people to explore their spirituality for sure.
Yeah.
I think part of sovereignty, right? We're talking about money. We need to be financially able to function. Otherwise, if all you're thinking about is how to pay your bill, that's not freedom.
Yeah.
And then spirituality as well. If you're constantly battling with the world or yourself, like you can't really enjoy life like that. So I feel like you're kind of covering those two things. You've obviously done pretty well financially.
Yes.
You're spiritual, obviously.
Yeah.
What are, in my mind, other important pieces of becoming a sovereign individual would be like your health. Are you a big health guy? What are you doing for that?
Yeah, I think I'm the most unhealthy I've ever been in my life right now.
on the record.
Dude, I feel like crap. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a spot we can work on.
Dude, I need help. Do I see you? I see you and your videos, and I'm like, dude, it's like you're a specimen, bro. And I need to get back. I just had a gym built in my garage.
Perfect.
But like I'm nowhere near where I used to be, and it's just because I've put focus on other things.
Well, people talk about living a balanced life, and obviously the goal is to be exceptional in all of the categories, right? Health, wealth, spirituality, relationships. But sometimes we do have to put more attention onto one thing for a time to get it where it needs to be, and other things may suffer.
Yeah, dude, I've known you for years, and like you've never fallen off. I've never seen you in not shape. Like, have you just built up such a consistent life? Like, is it that so important to you that it's like you're willing to forsake other things to really keep your body where it is?
Yeah, well, I think like anything in life, you start out and you have to consciously make a decision to do something. Yeah. I want to go to the gym. I want to get healthy, right? But after a certain amount of time doing something, anything, even on the financial side, eventually it becomes unconscious. And you just do that. That's just how you are. It's your lifestyle. So for some people, that's getting up and checking their bank account and trading, and like they're just printing money, and it's just like they're unconsciously competent at that thing. Yeah. For me, I think that's fitness. I started at a young age, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel centered and right and clear. And so anytime I'm in a challenging point in my life, that always like brings me back, clears my mind. It's almost like a meditation. Yeah. And I feel like if we're healthy in our body, we're going to be able to operate at our best in every other arena. Yeah. Finances, family, relationships. We're going to show up better in those places. So for me, it's been basically number one over money. Yeah. And then obviously money's important.
But you can't outlive your money,
Like you can't outlive your money.
But you said something online, and it was so small and stupid. Like it was not even like you weren't even trying to like. Sometimes things stick and there was no plan for it to be that way. You said sweat every day. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing that and I was like, yeah, like every day, like I need to sweat. And I wrote it down I have a vision board, and I was like these are one of the things I'm going to sweat every day. I didn't keep to that, but like, it was like 5 days a week for a while. I was like, there were days where I was like in the middle of something. It was like 3:00. I could keep working, and I was like, I have to sweat. But it was it's so weird how sticky it was for me.
That's awesome.
I still remember that. I'm like, some days I'm off, and I'm like not working, and I could go sweat. I'm like, I'm going to sweat today.
We got to be gentle with ourselves, but it's a good principle, right? I think that our bodies detoxify through breath, through using the bathroom, and through sweating. So, I mean, with all the toxins we're exposed to, sweating is a great way to get it out, Yeah. And that's why, I love the sauna, all those things just promote that. So I love that that's stuck, dude. That's awesome.
Seriously, 3 years. I'm just like, I'm going to sweat every single day.
Let's go. Awesome. So we're going to up the health. Let's go.
Yes. Yes. I got to make a plan though. I got to maybe you can help me make a plan.
Let's go. I'm going to be traveling for a while, but I'm down to,
That's the other thing. I don't travel at all really because I'm working so much. Yeah. Like you're traveling a lot. I see you around and you're still working out at these gyms at these hotels. Like you're just still making it happen. Yeah. It's like, it's not in my head the way it is like it is for you, where it's like you wake up and it's like, you're going to work out that day. Yeah. Like I wake up and I'm like, I might work out today, but there's probably some important stuff that's going to come up and I've really got to I've got to do that. Yeah. And I don't want it to be that way.
Yeah. Well, one step at a time. Yeah, so I need to get back on that train, the sweat every day. That was a good like tagline.
So good. So good. So if that's not on like some kind of big ass brand, it needs to be
I think it is.
sweat every day.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about blockchain and Bitcoin, but like producing business in crypto is so multifaceted. It's like there's literally a way to make money for every single type of person
In crypto.
in crypto.
In crypto, there's a way to make money for any
Type of
personality type.
Any personality type.
Nice. Well, as big as the space is getting,
Yeah.
I mean, people should explore that.
There's people watching that will like, they don't have a job or they don't have any design, and like they could literally find their thing in crypto because there's a space for it
Yeah.
and there's money funneling into it.
I have a pretty cool idea of how I want to enter the space myself. We'll talk about that off camera.
Okay.
I'll be releasing it to everybody here in the near future. But yeah, that is, I believe that's true. What about, so for you, what are you most excited about right now? Just in general, could be in the crypto space, could be health, could be family. What are you most excited about?
I'm excited about our second baby
Mm,
in May. We're
Let's
having a
go.
second kid, and I've been a dad for a year and a half, and it's
best thing ever.
so cool, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really
it
hard.
changes life completely, right?
It does, but I was a social cat, man. I loved going out.
You were. Yeah. You are.
I am, but it's different now. It's like I actually, on the weekends, I look forward to just having some family time and hanging out in the hot tub and going to the playground and watching her interact with other kids. And
Yeah.
it's weird. It's a different life, but I wouldn't trade it because I love my family,
Yep.
and that's what I'm in love with.
So the family's everything.
It is.
Awesome, brother. Well, for people watching this, if they want to learn more about crypto, or maybe they want to interact with you,
Yeah.
how could you help the viewers?
Yeah. If you just honestly, Instagram's easy. But
Yeah.
if you want to follow me on Instagram, just the name Gregory Gresick. I think the link should be in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. But I'd love to connect with you. If you're looking for a job in crypto, I can easily connect you.
There
I
we
gave
go.
out like close to 70 or 80 jobs last year to people
Wow.
who had never had any experience in crypto. I like doing that. I want more people to get involved. And also I have business where I can, I pay out a lot of referral money. There's so many people that refer stuff to me, and I love doing that. Like I love being able to, I have 3 or 4 people that make thousands and thousands of dollars just from me because they've referred it and I have to pay them out. And that feels good to do. So
Yeah. So anything crypto related, give my man Greg a follow. He wants to help.
yeah.
He's connected to the money, to the crypto.
Yep.
And yeah, it's great having you, dude.
Thanks so much for having
Let's
me, bro.
go.
For real.